Before setting up the trench box, it is important to make sure the area is clear of any potential hazards or obstacles. First, ensure the foot pads on both struts are securely fastened with the strut pin. Next, position the struts to the proper width. This can be done with spacing change or a tape measure. Once the struts are in place, lift the panels with 4 pick points when attaching them to the struts. Be sure your strut latches are in the open position. Then ensure that the top part of the panel is in the top catch of the strut while the bottom of the panel is lowered to the ground. Once the panel is in position, flip the latch kit to secure the panel to the strut and install the latch pin into the secured position. The same steps will be repeated for the other panel. When both panels are put in place, you will then remove all 4 bottom strut pins from the foot pads. Next, you will attach all 4 legs of the rigging sling to your lifting points on the struts. Raise the trench box until the gravity pins lock into place. Ensure that the locks are engaged before lowering the trench box down safely. You will then use the bottom strut pin from the foot pads to lock the panel and struts together. Keep the rigging bridle taut. This will help allow the strut pin to be placed in the lock position smoothly. And with that, your trench box is ready to be installed in the trench. It is important to ensure that the work area is cleared of all personnel before starting the takedown process. Once the rigging is secured, you can proceed with carefully tipping the trench box on its side. The bottom strut pins can then both be removed. Next, pull the panel and strut assembly over until perpendicular to the ground. Remove strut pins from both sides of the second panel. Then, lower the second panel until it's flat to the ground. Once everything is lowered, attach the rigging to the strut lifting points and then remove the latch pins. When the rigging is in place, you will then lift the struts free from the panels. Next, attach your rigging to the top of the strut and lower into the foot pads. Then, you will move the strut pins down to the foot pads and secure them to the struts. This step will be repeated for the other strut. Now that all your components have been removed, your disassembly is complete.